What are numbers that people chase a lot? Is it like your squat or your
Yeah,
bench?
I mean, squat, bench, deadlift. You know, people want to be able to, you know, at least bench 300 pounds and, you know, squat 400, deadlift 500, and work their way up from there. You know, but there's a lot of body types that aren't necessarily equipped to handle that. And even in the athletic population, I talk about this a lot of times with one of my buddies who's a strength coach with the Oakland Raiders. Like, they have a lot of their athletes deadlift from just a mat or two off of the ground. Just elevate it 2 or 3 inches because their bodies are so big, and a lot of times you've probably seen the type of athlete, like they've got very long limbs or a short torso, or like just they're not, you know, wonderfully proportionate. And getting into the position to execute the lift properly isn't necessarily a given. And because they're such great compensators, athletes are such great, I call them all the time masters of compensation. They can do things that you would never, to the naked eye, necessarily detect, and they'll get the job done. But it doesn't mean that they're not.
So they're using other muscles.
Totally,
and using other weird postures.
Something else, and and rep after rep after rep, in addition to their skill work and their performance, you know, they're doing what they actually do for a living. That stuff starts to add up and break them down. And you know, those are the kind of things I think that, you know, warrant some extra consideration for. Is your body actually prepared to do what it is you're asking it to do? You know, and that requires a whole well-rounded approach. Their body is so multidimensional. It requires an enormously well-rounded approach to fitness. So I've never liked to pigeonhole myself in one area. I just think it sort of is a blend of a lot of different things.
Yeah, I chased numbers for a long time. I was chasing my bench press for a long time, and now I don't know why I was doing that.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of people wind up questioning after the fact, and I think with it being a little bit of the obsession right now, again, if we had an era of functional training, now we're sort of in the era of chasing numbers. And there are going to be a lot of guys like you who later on, years from now, are going to be like, why was I doing that? You know, why was I chasing? Because it's not the end all be all. A lot of guys are chasing strength numbers in pursuit of just muscle growth, just because they want to look better or bigger. And we've talked about it so many times, it's not the only way to build muscle. Like, progressive overload is one method for doing it, but it's not the only way. There's some methods that actually utilize much, much lighter weights, but done in a painstaking sort of metabolic way that is really difficult, but it's not going to require a lot of the demand on the joint. So
like a slow push-up.
Yeah.
Which can be very strenuous.
Yeah.
Probably more difficult than bench press.
I've shown that before too. That, you know, that you can, if you do a push-up through its actual full range of motion and you go slower, like, I don't care how many you think you could do now, you could pretty much cut that in half because you're not doing that many. And when you think about it, you know, muscles are basically just speaking a language of tension. They don't know what the weight, they can't read the number on the side of the plate or the dumbbell. Like, they just feel what they feel, and you can manipulate that feel a number of different ways, either through the pace and the tempo that you're training, or the explosiveness that you apply to it. Like, there's a lot of different factors that you can apply to change the tension that muscle is going to feel, and that muscle will respond in a way to adapt and try to, you know, come back better able to handle that stress. So it's not the end all be all, and I do think there will be people that are questioning why they focus so hard on just one element of their training these days.
I've never heard that term. Muscles speak a language of tension.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that is their like, and I always feel like when I'm training myself, like, I'm trying to speak that language with them. I'm trying to get over the human desire to just speak in a language of numbers, because I know that the body doesn't respond that way. And when I did do that, I got much more enjoyment out of my training and much more success. Because there are days I'll go in there and we've all felt this, like, I'll go in the gym and I don't feel so prepared to train. Like, I'm not like, I know I won't be setting a PR today if that was the goal. I just don't have it. But it doesn't mean that the whole workout's shit and I gotta throw it away. I can just, okay, seems like it's gonna be one of those days where I gotta kind of downshift a little bit. So I'll lighten the weights, and then I really start to like feel the tension and really make sure that whatever muscle I'm trying to train at that moment, I'm making it do the work, as opposed to just sort of heaving the weight around because I knew I was supposed to go for a number that I'm never gonna reach that day. And most often those workouts are incredibly productive because I kind of tapped into first of all, I surrendered to the whole idea that I'm not gonna have my best today, and then I made it my best because I, you know, took that challenge of the lighter weights and really just focused on that tension as opposed to some number.